Here it goes, back with another episode of Applying Pressure. And of
Yes,
course, I'm here with I'm your boy LA Broadus, and of course, sitting across from me is the lovely
Sherelle.
Sherelle Unique. So how we doing today, Miss Sherelle?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Okay,
Happy
okay.
to be back. Happy to be back.
Absolutely. So guys, thanks again. Applying the pressure, episode two. Episode two. Um, I'm having fun so far. I'm very excited to be able to come and do this show. Like I said again, it's like a therapy kind of thing for me. Uh, but also just to just be able to chat about different things that's going on in the world and be able to share it with you, and laugh and do all of that. So um, shoot, we got some interesting stuff going on in the world right now. So so I would just go ahead. Oh, and before we get started. Miss Unique, do you have anything coming up? Any church announcements you want to go ahead and get out the way?
Definitely. As you guys already know, I am the leader and founder of the band Soul Drip. Full name is Sherelle Unique and Soul Drip. We are performing at Sandcastle Water Park. We have 3 1-hour sets that day, July 1st. First set starting at 1 o'clock. So come and check us out. You just pay park entry and you will get the full experience of jamming in July with Sherelle Unique and Soul Drip at Sandcastle Water Park here in Pittsburgh, PA.
All right, all right. And guys, we'll definitely drop our social media towards the end of the show, so you guys can make sure you follow us and be able to check out Miss Sherelle's all of her announcements for her band and just anything else that we decide to do throughout on our social media because we're kind of funny, we're kind of cool people.
Kind of cool.
Um, all right, well let's jump right into it. Uh, man. So, Sherelle, let me just paint this picture for you. I'm sitting back, I'm chilling, I'm enjoying my Father's Day. You know, got some pretty fly gifts. Got something to eat. Sitting back, I'm sipping a little something, something, a little adult beverage, and scrolling through Instagram, and what's up? I'm like, Russell Simmons, what? So I'm like looking around and everything, because I seen the post. So I go to look for the video. And oh my god. Okay. Um. Wow. So what? I'm gonna say wow, and I'm gonna throw it straight to you. All right. What you think? What did you see? Let the people let the people know what's going on.
Well, I started off with seeing Kimora online, uh, sharing information. She was still a bit, uh, I'll say reserved because she was still holding back some things and making some, I want to say dry threats, but I don't think she bluffing on the
Well,
information
well,
and
before
receipts
be,
that she wants to put out. So I saw her online sharing some things about her experiences with Russell and his behavior. Then I saw their daughter.
well
Uh,
before you get into their responses, was there? This is what I'm confused about. Was there anything that prompted this? Like why they went and posted? Like what started it?
exactly sure. I hear that it was money and that
Hmm.
he had been cut the girls off from finances. The daughter Aoki is in college,
Hmm.
cut her off. And then he's also doing these rants, calling the mother the C word, the B
Mm,
word, calling the girls B's and C's. And,
mm,
you know, whenever the daughter would talk to him, it could be Father's Day, it could be any holiday, it could be anything. He even lied and said he had COVID just to get a call from her, just so he could yell at her and talk bad about her and her mother to her, making threats,
mm.
threatening to take opportunities from her. Just in my opinion, from what I'm hearing, just being emotionally abusive,
Mm.
mentally and emotionally abusive.
Okay. And I'm sorry because I cut you off when you were talking about the daughter's response. What was the daughter's response just for the listeners?
So the daughter went online and she shared. She said she had been silent for years,
Hmm.
and her mom has tried to keep her silent. Told her to focus on school. That this is between, you know, her dad and her. Um, but he's pretty much kind of like using them as a pawn. Like he's, you know, yelling at them, saying bad things about their mom, putting them in the middle of it, and then threatening that if weaponizing their silence. Like if you speak up, I'm gonna take this opportunity. You're never gonna work here. You're never gonna do that. You're never gonna do this. He's showing up. He's having people pop up. You know,
Hmm.
he is really like using his power over them to
Hmm.
manipulate them. And she got tired of being silent about it. Apparently she's been silent about it for years, and he's been treating them poorly for years. Um,
Hmm.
and then there was a whole talk on the Breakfast Club about whether you should air out family business. So
Okay.
what do you think? What do you think about this? And do you think this is a situation where it's like keep it private, don't air it all out on social media?
Um, I kind of understand where they're coming from as far as the fact that look, we've been silent for too long. When everybody talks about Russell Simmons in the public, they always talk about him and his, his yoga, and he's peaceful and he's zen like and all this other stuff. So he's always painted with a good picture as far as being peaceful and stuff. When really we know they know he's not. And it seemed like the pressure just kept building and building until they had to say something. The only thing I don't like about it is that I hate that it had to have been on Father's Day. That's number one. I also hate that it had to even get to the public because whenever you gotta air out family business, it's not it never ends well anyway because now everybody else feels like they can have an opinion on what you're going through, and everybody's gonna get their 2 cents, and they don't know everything. They're not there for everything, every conversation. Even though I was aware that she had posted some text messages and screenshots of different things too. So ultimately, I feel like okay, if we wanted to really go deep here, I feel like if if it's to the point where you are feeling victimized and stuff like that, please do not be silent, right? Because that is how, especially in our community as African Americans, we are taught to keep everything in house. That's family business, and that's how different people, as far as domestic violence, rape. That's how those different things get covered up, and people are walking around like nothing ever happened, right? So if it's that extreme or you get to that point, yes, please do not be silent. But if it is just something real ticky tack, hey, I want to go to court and this, that, and stuff like that. Nah, you don't need to put that out in the public eye. But if it's really getting to that point where you're like, look, I'm just tired. I feel like they got pressure. They felt pressure. You seen the example that they have been quiet. They have been silent, and he's been the one that's been going on shows, that's been talking and doing this, doing that, and the other. And so he got called out for it, unfortunately, and I hate to hear it. I hate to see it. And I definitely wish them the best. But yeah. What do you think?
I do think that there's a time when you should keep family business as family business. But when it
Hmm.
crosses the line over into abuse,
Hmm.
emotional, mental, physical, sexual abuse, um, then you have to speak out sometimes, especially when there's a person of such great power and they're making threats. Um, and they're trying to put out this image of themselves. That's one way. You know, you have to take that risk sometimes to step out. And it's sad for that person who has to do that because unfortunately you put yourself in a position to be re-traumatized all over again.
Hmm.
Um, but sometimes it's necessary in order to get it to stop or to get some kind of justice or just spread some kind of awareness. I think sometimes it's necessary. Now, if it's just like a little argument here and there, and you could block the person or just not have that argument, then okay. But if this person is constantly attacking you, sometimes it takes that much.
I definitely agree. And like I said, this ain't no pun or anything, but yeah, they apply pressure, to Mr. Simmons. So hey, I hope he goes through and does what he needs to do, because it does seem like it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type situation going on with him. So maybe he has some definite mental health issues that he needs to take care of himself. So but like I said, definitely thoughts and prayers to them, and hopefully this whole situation gets cleaned up, because at the end of the day, the people that suffer is gonna be them, because those relationships, it gets ugly. You miss time, you know. For instance, if she has kids, then now all of a sudden there's another generation of grandkids that's not gonna really have a good relationship with their grandfather. So I hope everything gets cleaned up. But
So
let's another thing that I was just scrolling through on Instagram. Ha ha ha. And I see something about the Titanic. And I was like, wait, they about to do a remake or something? Like what's going on?
I mean,
Um,
kinda.
yeah, yeah, it seems like it. So basically, y'all, if y'all didn't hear about this story, a bunch of, and I'm gonna be candid about it, a bunch of rich white folk decided to, I believe it's five of them, decided to get and thought it was a good idea to get into a submarine and take a voyage. Um, a fantastic voyage, which is not really that fantastic. And I probably shouldn't be joking about this, but it's just so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so dumb. Like you put yourself in that situation. But it's like, okay, they got in the submarine. It was a voyage. They paid $25,000 to basically get into this submarine and go see the Titanic that's at the bottom of the ocean. After about an hour and a half of them going down there, because I think the whole entire trip was supposed to be like maybe 18 hours front and back. After about an hour and a half, they lost communication with the submarine. They can't control it. Um, and these people are down there and they can't find it currently. Still as of right now, as we talk about it. And honestly, when before this show, I want to say it was this morning, they said they had only had maybe like 20 hours left of air. So it doesn't look like it's gonna end well. They cannot find the submarine. And it sucks. It does. I mean, like I said, I'm not being insensitive to the lives that may be lost in this.
This is
But
it's
again,
so
I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this. What the fuck were
right.
they thinking? What were they thinking, Sherelle?
I don't understand it. I can't say I understand what they were thinking. I'm not a thrill seeker.
Hmm.
So maybe the thrill seekers of the world can relate. Are you a thrill seeker? Like are you
I'm a thrill seeker in certain areas of my life.
okay?
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But what I'm saying is that when it comes to like I don't even call it thrill. I'd be like that adrenaline type thing, like like say jumping out of an airplane, bungee jumping, different things like that. I can't. I get jittery, like my anxiety starts boiling up, and then if you look inside of the submarine that they were in, it is really condensed and very small. It's like a very small closet, and I don't do well with small spaces like that, right? So I
It
just
was like
started
a
seeing
minivan.
it is. I don't even think. Well, yeah, it might be
A
around that
minivan
size.
with 5 people in it.
Yeah, like so. I'm like, hold on. First of all, I don't like being all close up on random people. Then we're in this small space. Then we're going deep down in the ocean, and we're sitting in there for 18 hours.
And air is
Look,
limited.
yeah, air is limited, so I'm be looking at you sideways, like, hey man, say what? Why you breathing up all the air, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And the
hey, slow
scarier
that heavy breathing
it gets,
down.
the anxiety is raising. People are utilizing more and more air and
Hmm.
more resources. I'm sure they're using the bathroom more.
Well, they didn't really even have a bathroom though. It was like a little bedpan. That's all they had. Because they can't flush, they can't throw it out. There's no way to get out of it because of how deep they went down in the sea. So it's like I'm like there's no reason or no way how in the world that I would think that would be a good idea. What if somebody in there had just ate a burrito, right? And then they got the bubble guts. You know what I'm saying? And now they taking up
Fake
all the time,
burrito.
using up all the bedpan, and then it's all stinky and stuff in there. We don't got no filtration system to get the stink out. Now I'm sitting up here in a submarine smelling your boo boo all day. Like that's crazy.
And they say it's cold. So,
Yeah,
you're down there, you're cold, you don't know where you are,
with boo boo air.
man. And they said, like, and it's so hard to be, as terrifying as this is, it's so hard to be just 100% serious with it because there's so many jokes that be
Yeah,
coming
and
to
this and this
mind.
and first of all, I wanna give look, internet, y'all are so unserious.
It's so
I swear.
savage. There's
Y'all are so unserious. Because there's this thread I followed on Twitter that's so funny. They're like, hey, if they saved you, like how would you step out of the submarine and stuff like that?
I
And
saw
then they're like,
that.
oh dude, I'm like, man, y'all are crazy. Like the internet is so unserious, but at the same time, and then of course you got your little faction of people that's like, well, these are people's lives and stuff. And I'm like, but dude, they put themselves in that situation. Like, we're not sitting up here. This isn't like a mass shooting or something like that, and we're like joking about that, right?
It's true.
These people did something like it kind of reminded me of remember those old Jurassic Park movies where the dude was like, I want to recreate a dinosaur, and we're like, dude, really?
Don't do
You
that.
know, it's gonna be bad, right? You done messed up, right? So they did the same exact thing. I'm paying you $25,000 to do that? Nah, ain't no way. Then they said the remote died. I guess the batteries on it died or something. I don't know if they had it charged up.
They use
Because
it
it
like
was
a PlayStation remote, right?
yeah. It wasn't a pilot. Like they were controlling it remotely. Like so, it's like I'm like, man, y'all, who didn't get the AA batteries? Who messed up and didn't get another set of AA batteries? Come on now, like this is
You need to
crazy.
hit it like
Yeah, like hit it twice. You know what I'm saying? Like get a good one. But
they
yeah, no, this is that's crazy. That's crazy. Like
so
yeah,
like that.
totally
I
insane.
am hearing that they are hearing some sounds every
Yeah,
30
yeah.
minutes, so they feel like that could be human sounds that they're hearing.
Hmm.
It's so much of the ocean that we have not explored that we're not even supposed. We will die.
Well, fun fact is that there's been more people in space than there have been at the bottom of the ocean. Like I mean, like there's just like you said, it's too far deep, it's too far cold. There's times like there's light that won't even you can't even like see down there because the light won't bounce off of whatever it is to bring it back so you can see.
Can you
Like it's
imagine the
just
creatures that's down there?
right. Like and look, I love the beach. I love the beach, right? But there's only so far that I'm going in the ocean. Period. Like it's just dangerous in general. Like you got riptides, you got all kinds of squishy things down there that you can step on. You
And we've
know,
seen the size of the things that have come up out of there too.
yeah, they'd be like, yeah, we just pulled out this 200-foot squid. I'm like, bruh, really, really? Okay, okay. No, you got that. You got that. You got the ocean. That's fine. Y'all can have that. I'm cool on the ocean. Cool on space, but I'm really cool on the ocean.
Man, they spent it was like a suicide mission.
Yeah, crazy. But not surprised anybody that it isn't affecting. But it was just too many jokes there, guys. Sorry.
What if
Thoughts
they
and prayers.
make it out though for real? I know we ready to move on, but what if they really like survive this? That's gonna be
All,
wild.
all I know is Netflix is already firing up a documentary right as we speak. So either way, we're gonna figure it out. But
Yeah.
hopefully they get out. Of course, but golly, like nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so whew, now we're past the some of the things that's going on in the world today. Let's get into something a little bit more hefty. All right, let's get a little hefty.
Apply a
So
little pressure.
yes. So let me ask you this. I seen a tweet online. And basically it said, would you rather have loyalty over love, or would you rather that person love you and like think about your feelings and stuff like that? And then the person put the caption under it like, "Nah, we gonna keep it real." um applying that to your friendships, to your romantic relationships, just to you know, dealing with just family members and stuff like that. Um, do you think that there is a thing about, okay, look, you know, I can't be too actually, you know what, if I'm delivering you some information, Sherelle, would you mind the brutal honesty even if it hurts your feelings, and how would you deal with that?
You know what I have a hard time with? I have a hard time with the word brutal.
Mhm,
I would prefer the honesty,
mhm,
but I don't want it to be brutal.
mm,
It don't have to be brutal. Honesty without sensitivity is brutality.
mm.
So I'd rather know
Bars.
what it is, but I don't want the brutal truth. Like I don't want the brutality with it. Just, gently tell me what's going on. I'd rather know kind of what's going on.
Mm, okay, okay. Yeah, I think with me in that situation, I definitely understand what you mean as far as, okay, your delivery. Especially if you're a person that says that they either love me or care for me or of any type of way, whether it's friendship, romantic, family, whatever. So I definitely get what you mean by the delivery, right?
Yes.
But but what I keep coming across, I think in life and stuff, and I think you deal with this too. I think you told me through our previous conversations, when you're a nice person or you're a caring person, people don't want to like they beat around the bush. They never want to just tell you straight up. So
Yeah.
it's like I get all that, but it's like, nah, like stop trying to protect my feelings now because like I didn't already recognize something is up, the vibes is off, something's crazy, something's not fitting right, and you're sitting up here trying to tiptoe around it and not just really say what you say. Like
Yeah.
if you wanna break up with me, say it straight up, and then I'll just deal with it and I'll move on. If it's my, if it's a family member and they're like, hey, I don't have this for you. Like I said, I was gonna have it for you. Don't tiptoe around. Like say if you borrowed money from me or something like that, right? Just tell me straight up, hey, I don't got your money. Um, or even in friendships, you know what I'm saying? Like there could be times that it's like, hey, uh, you know, I thought we was gonna do this. We didn't. And and I'll share something personal between me and you. I remember there was the one time that you actually I got irritated with me one time because every time you would, pop back into town, and that's when I was going through my, depression thing, but I didn't really communicate that with you. But I kept telling you, like, hey, you was like, hey, you want to meet up at the bar to have a quick drink or something like that? And I'd be like, yeah, I'll show up, and then I'll text you real quick, like right before we're supposed to, and it's like, nah, I'm not coming out. Now, if I would have just told you, like, hey, I'm going through a dark time right now, I'm not having that energy to get up out the bed right now. You would have probably understood that more, but it had gotten to a point where you was just like, hey, look, man, I ain't hitting you up no more. Like if I come into town, because you keep standing me up, like so. And then I was just like, oh, yeah, dang, that's messed up. And so, it took us a couple of months, right, to even get back to even talking really, because you was mad, and I had to give you your space, and stuff like that, and I was in the wrong. So, but like I said, with that, like, yeah, like definitely with the delivery, but I definitely I don't want you to tiptoe around because, like I said, I think a lot of people take nice people as being like, oh, I gotta handle them with kitty gloves and this, that, and other, or they either think that you're naive and you're not gonna notice, and it's like, come on, man, like I'm not
I
dumb.
peeped this. And
Yeah,
see, both of us are overthinkers.
mhm,
So when I don't know or it's not clear, then my mind's going all the places. Now I might not
mhm,
call you out on all the places because I am a nice person and I don't
mhm,
want drama and contention with you. But I have thought it and I have thought the worst.
mhm.
The worst has definitely come to mind. Uh so I'd rather just
Just know what it is.
know what it is and then
Mhm.
then we can plan accordingly. But some people won't say what it is because they want to keep you around or they want to control the narrative. It's like a manipulation thing. If
Mm.
if they hold the power, if they hold whatever information.
And even to piggyback off of that too, I think also too they'll do that because honestly, a lot of people aren't clear as far as how they feel. You know, regardless of what it is, right? And like I said, I'm not trying to focus on relationships so much, but just in general, like you know, but it does fit the relationship narrative. But yeah, they don't know how they feel right now. Like you know, um, and how we talked about last week with the you know mental health, you know, and different you know other things from outside in life that happens. You know, sometimes you go to DEFCON, you know, 2 or 3 or 4, like, and wanting to just blow everything up around you because you feel like whatever you're going through in life right then is just so you know traumatic or it's so you know so messed up and putting so much pressure on you. So you just start cutting everything off. I know I'm a big person that would do that. Like if I'm going through something real big, like I'm like no, I'm going ghost. Like I disappear. You know, and shoot, you've been my friend. You seen me go ghost. So so yeah, so I you know, I think it's a combination of all that. But to get back to your original point, yes, delivery is definitely important and
And,
key. Now
and
this
if
oh
you
go ahead.
love, if you have loyalty, I feel like if you have loyalty, then love will easily fall right behind. Like when you said love
Right.
over, you know, versus loyalty,
True. True.
um, it's easy to fall right in with the, because I do think that you can have love and not have loyalty.
Hmm.
Take a different set of skills.
No, that is true. Yeah, and I definitely seen it. Like, you know, I mean, you can even equate it to people that are in like hapless marriages, right? Like they still love each other, but you're gonna see one person cheating or doing something like that because they don't have no loyalty for him.
Hmm.
Um, you know, or you know, if you're dating somebody, like, hey, I'm gonna have somebody on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you know everybody be talking about, oh, I didn't drop my roster and da 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 da. You know, like that's the type of stuff that still go on. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it happens in this life. So for me, I don't have the energy for all that. Because I be forgetting about stuff anyway. So I'm like, hold on, who was your kid again? Hold on, no, that was old girl's kid. Oh shoot, like nah,
Where be like, what's your backstory again?
yeah, yeah. Can I have your origin story again? Like, cause I done forgot. I had to start doing Google Docs on them and stuff. Like, yeah, this is yeah, that's what that yeah, uh-huh. And how is let me check notes. Bobby, little Bobby, how's little Bobby doing?
Have it all
uh,
mixed.
so this one is definitely your topic. So I'll definitely let you kick it off, but you basically asked why is our generation and then the generations younger than us so unhappy. So let me know what you was thinking when you thought about that.
I actually didn't put that topic on there. I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all good. I
Ah,
think
well, what do you think?
I think this generation is unhappy because we have more access. We have access to more,
Hmm.
but with less quality. So more quantity, less quality. Does that make
Mm,
sense? Like we have access to more things and it's given to us with ease. So we have that kind of like microwavable happiness,
hmm.
constantly trying to like self gratify, trying to make yourself feel good all the time, but it's always surface level stuff. It's never deep.
Hmm.
Whereas in the past, we had things that really mattered, things that you can't buy with money. We had family,
Hmm.
um, we had love,
Hmm.
we had real human interaction. And I'm a social media girl, but we had real human interaction. Um, Marriage was valued. Having a faith and a belief system of some sort was valued. So I just feel like it's quantity over quality these days, which causes us to have temporary moments of happiness, but not really sustain like joy.
I like that. I like that. What I was thinking too is like you talk to a lot of people and you meet a lot of people, and they always tell you like this is one of the questions I always ask somebody if if I just want them around me in my life, period. Okay. So this could be a girlfriend or it could be just a homeboy, because I'm not hanging around with dudes that are not that we don't not that we don't have like minds as far as that we got to agree with everything, but I want to know that you stand for something. Like, what are your pillars? What are your foundational values? So I normally ask that, especially if I want you to be inside my inner circle, not so much the outer, because outer I can deal with you, stuff like that, right? But the inner circle, I ask like, what are your foundational values? What are your pillars in your life that are very important to you?
Yeah.
So that I can see what's up. And like I said, I think too, when you're dating somebody, you should ask that as well, so you won't be caught off guard. But I think what's happening too is that you have a lot of people that know how to talk a good game, but they cannot maintain what they say, because that's not what they truly believe. And what's happening is that you're having people meet people, whether it's friends, whether it's dating or anything like that, and they're getting seriously burned. They're getting burned out. They're getting burnt, like just in general. Because like I know one girl, she was telling me about how what was it? It was like a friend like borrowing money or something like that, and she thought they were really close, and the friend was like, "Yeah, I always got you. I'll pay you back." Da, 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 da. Da." And then it was like after the money was given, the time passed by that she was supposed to give it back. The other friend didn't bring it up. And then it started to build up that resentment, that's that underlying anger, and then it ultimately just turned into the girl just like not even talking to her no more, just disappearing on her. And so now she's out of all this money. And then she was struggling and she's like, yo, dang, if I would have got that money back, I wouldn't even be struggling right now. So that just caused a whole bunch of other stress over here on this side. So it's like a lot of people are out there heartbroken, they got burnt. Another thing, like how you said, is that we get fed information so quickly, but people aren't able to process it because as soon as we get one news story that pop up, there's another one right behind it. There's another one right behind it. And then also to that point too, where a lot of people are desensitized now because we see so the violence and stuff that we see right now that's right in our hands. When we were kids and we were growing up, we couldn't see that. It wasn't we didn't see that. We heard about it. We might have heard about it or something. We might have read about it in a paper. But as far as seeing these videos and just different things like that, it's like everything is right there. So it's like people are desensitized to violence. They're desensitized to caring about anybody else and their feelings. I mean, you will have people say some of the nastiest stuff on the internet, and because they are behind that computer, because they got the little Abby up with the little egghead or a cat or something like that or a dog in the profile picture, they can say and spew whatever it is that they want. And then to the people that are, say, quote unquote empaths or actually caring stuff like that, we get affected by that because they say like, oh, it's just the internet. But nah, we read that stuff still, and we still absorb it somehow, some way. Maybe not all the way like how we would if you were face to face with me, but it still affects us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that that's another reason why that they're unhappy. And then also unhappiness, as they say, is contagious. Like unhappy people like to be around other unhappy people because all they're doing. And this is another thing I experienced on Twitter. And and if you guys don't know, Twitter has these things called spaces. It's like chat groups. You can go in there, grab a mic, and you can talk. I done been in rooms where all they did was sit in there all day and just harp and harp on being unhappy. There was never a solution that was brought up. There was never a way to say, okay, I acknowledge your problem. Now here's how we're gonna get out of this problem. It was like, no, I just want to sit back and complain all day.
Um,
So
I think there's three things I have on my mind. So one, based off what you just said, the last thing you just said, we now have internet, and so it's gonna feed you what you are already consuming, and it's gonna give you more and more and more through
oh
the
yeah, your
algorithm.
algorithm.
Yep.
Hmm.
So if you are depressed and you're looking up depressed stuff, it's gonna continue to feed more and more and more and more depressed stuff. Um,
Hmm.
so that's one thing that kind of contributes to our unhappiness. a lot of us are get in these dark holes emotionally and are unable to bring ourselves back out because
Mm-hmm.
the algorithms are force feeding it to us.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I want to say is in the past, there was a bit of a routine set. People kind of knew what to expect. They knew what they were going to be when they grew up. They knew pretty much they had a hold and a grip on what life was and what they were expected to do and be. Whereas this might be the first time in life where that is shifted. Jobs are different. Um, the role of the man is totally different. The role of the woman's totally different. We have more options, at our belt. And that causes, unfortunately, some positives, but there's some confusion
Mm-hmm.
when you're unsure of what to do with yourself. Um, Whereas in the past, there was a routine. And this is kind of a new normal because, especially for us senior millennials, it's a bit of a new normal now. What was
Mm-hmm.
traditional, what was valued is no longer valued anymore.
Yeah,
And
and even it's laughed at and it gets teased. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean you're in the house and you just do this all day and you just go to work and you come home? Ha ha ha, you're a lame. Like, so no, you're correct.
and also we have so much information that we have. I have to remind my teens. I work with teens and I work with parents, but with my teens, I have to remind them you literally have the internet in the palm of your hand, and you're asking me this question.
Hmm.
Go on your phone and look it up. Not because I don't know the answer. You have to learn to use your brain and research and look things up. It's right here in your hand.
See, and that's old school because my mom used to. Well, back when we were growing up, it would be like, no, you don't ask me. Go to the encyclopedia or go to the dictionary and look it up.
And look it up
Hmm.
because you got to know how to find answers. You got to know how to think. And
Hmm.
nowadays, though, everything is handed. We have access to so much information, whereas back in the day, that saying ignorance is bliss.
Hmm.
There's a lot we didn't know, a lot we didn't need to know.
Right.
Um, so I think that plays a role too in our comfortability and happiness and whatnot. Because if you have the answer to everything all the time, right then and there, or a bunch of different answers all the time, it could cause less faith and more confusion because you got so much information thrown at you all the time. Whereas in the past, it wasn't as accessible. There's a little bliss in ignorance, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, because like you said again, and then we'll roll on to the next thing. Back when we're growing up and stuff like that, I didn't know about a war that was going on because I was outside playing, and then my parents knew about it because yeah, they would watch the news or read the newspaper, but they weren't telling us that. Like, so it's like, yeah, okay, there's a war going on, but but little LA at 7, 8 years old, what could he do about that? But little LA Junior, my son, he has the phone now and he can see that. So now he's getting unnecessary anxiety just from reading that because he has it in his hand. But it's nothing he could do about it anyway. But back then we were outside, we were playing, we were doing this and doing that. So we were like la la la, you know what I'm saying? And we were happy. So we didn't experience all that unnecessary negativity.
Mhm.
So yeah, so no, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. Well, this is your segment of the show. So if you want to go ahead and kick it off.
Fluffy, fluff, 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 fluff. Um, the question is, what does your rich life look like?
Mm,
Your rich life is what you want it to be. And so you don't have to worry about finances for anything.
mhm,
What does life look like for you
hmm,
at rich LA?
mm. Rich LA. Honestly, the thing that comes to the top of my mind for me is that you would never see me. I would always be on a plane, on a cruise. I'm traveling everywhere. I'm about to see everything. I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Italy. I want to see all of that stuff. I'm also too probably gonna gain like 300 pounds because I'm about to eat everything. One of the things that I looked up is that there's an actual map of like the United States that you can go into, and there's a recommendation for every state of where to go eat because of what they're known for. It's like called a food map of the United States. I researched it or whatever. That's something that I would love to do. So, like I said again, you would see me coming back like 300 pounds heavier. You would never see me because I'd be on a plane or something like that. Um, you probably wouldn't see me at all anyway, just because of the fact that I would probably have like my house and stuff like that would probably be somewhere so remote that you wouldn't even be able to get in touch with me unless I wanted you to, kind of thing. Like I'm just trying to disappear. Like I'm trying to get me a little honey, you know, and hey babe, let's go. Hey, no. Don't worry about packing anything. We'll buy clothes over there. You
Would
know,
you
stuff
still
like
be
that.
podcasting?
Huh?
Would you still be podcasting?
I probably would. No, actually, no, I definitely would because what I would be doing is I would be everywhere I travel to and stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing a video, like I'm gonna be vlogging. I'm gonna be chronologing. Did I say that right? Chronologing. Anywho, you know what I mean. But putting everything down. As far as the videos. I'm gonna have the kids with me. It's gonna be a blast. Like so. Yeah, that's what my rich life is just being on the move, traveling, and then like I said, being remote because I'm gonna have everything in my crib anyway. So like I'm like, yeah. So when I get back home, I'm at the crib, you know.
Mine would be similar. I definitely want to be traveling.
Hmm.
I love to perform and can perform every day. So entertainment is always going to be a thing.
Hmm.
God willing. And I don't really have a desire to be remote. So I'll still be accessible to um friends and family and whatnot. Um and like showing up for things that are important to them. And but I'm definitely traveling regularly.
Hmm.
I'm definitely performing and podcasting and create content creating because I just love to do that. I think it's fun. Um yeah, it's going to be quite similar. Quite
All
similar.
right. Yeah, and I think I'll just be getting like random stuff too. Like I'll just be like, you just come to my crib and you be like, yo, what is there? Why is there a like a platypus in the middle of the living room?
You
I'm
used to be
like,
collecting stuff at random.
yeah, like I would just be collecting stuff, like nothing dangerous stuff. Like I ain't gonna just have like a tiger or something like that, but I just have like something random. Like you'd be like, man, did I just see a penguin in the bathroom? Like what's a penguin doing in the bathroom? Like what's
Okay,
Happy Feet
so
doing in there?
you also said though, you were like, okay, babe, let's go. So do you see yourself in your rich life married? And is
No,
that like a one-on-one marriage? Is it polyamory? Are you dating a bunch of like what's happening here?
no, I don't. At this current moment right now, I don't see myself getting married again. But I do see myself being in a long relationship, like a long, serious relationship.
Okay.
So it wouldn't have to be with marriage. I guess it would be what they call that common law thing or something like that, common law type marriage. Like, I'm yours, you're mine. I don't do the poly thing. I'm very jealous. I couldn't do it. So, if anybody trying to poly, you can poly yourself over there.
Leo
Um,
stuff over there.
yeah, you can poly yourself over there. Because ain't no poly over here. So yeah, no, it's gonna be it's yeah. I see myself just being in a long stable, serious relationship in my rich life, but I don't know, I don't have a desire right now, but things change. And then also when you meet certain people, certain things change and you can be talked into certain things. But ultimately, like especially like right now, yeah, I don't have it. I don't the rich life, my happy life does not say marriage anymore. It used to be, but it doesn't say that anymore. What about you?
Um, my rich life says married.
Hmm.
My rich life says married with a butler too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely gonna have to have a butler or something like, cause yeah, that the personal chef, butler, yeah, we gonna have it hooked up. Like I said, we got all the money that we want, so it's we yeah. I can't wait. I can yeah yeah.
Definitely personal chef, definitely butler. I definitely need a driver, definitely need my own personal hairstylist.
Mm,
It's just those things have to be.
true, true. Well, look, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where to find and follow you on the socials, and we'll get up out of here.
So you can find me at Sherelle Unique. And you can find the band and my music page, Sherelle Unique and Soul Drip. So that's on all platforms. I'm lying. That's on Instagram. That's on Facebook. That's on YouTube. And that's on TikTok.
All right, cool. And as always, guys, thanks for joining us on the Applying Pressure podcast. I'm LA Broadish. You can find me on all social media platforms, including TikTok now. Yeah, I'm on there, guys. But at LA underscore Broadus or on TikTok at LA Broadus all the way through. So thanks again. That wraps up our episode 2 of Applying Pressure. Anything
Applying
else you gotta say?
pressure? Nah, I
Oh,
don't have anything. Thanks for listening in, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.
all right, guys. Bye.
Bye.